Yes, that's right. It's the Friday edition of the Rockstar Mentor podcast. It's Fan Mail Friday, episode 24.
Welcome to the Rockstar Mentor podcast, the podcast to inspire you and bring the kickstart you need to crush it in the art industry. So join Sonya each week to bring you the art of marketing your creative service or product. You've got questions, we've got answers. It's Fan Mail Friday, and we are here to answer questions to get your weekend started. Now, your creatively energetic host, Sonya Paz.
Hey there, friends and listeners. Sonya Paz here, and I have an exciting episode today because we are talking about pricing and pricing consistency. This is going to be a no-nonsense episode today. This is going to be me stepping on my soapbox, ranting, because some of the questions that I have heard that folks have written in, and I have actually had discussions with collectors and artists on this very question. And this week's episode has been asked to me a few different ways by a few different people over the last several months. It is about consistency and pricing. Now, one specific question came from a collector who I know that not only collects my work, but collects other people's work. And they had asked me, they said, I used to collect the work of a specific artist until I went to a recent show that they were in and noticed that their pricing was dramatically different from other pieces that I have purchased. And it wasn't by a few dollars, it was by about half as much. The same pieces and the same sizes were going for about half the price of what I had purchased them for from the artist at a different show. I am leery now of purchasing their art, and do I say anything to the artist about it? Okay, so this is, I'm not going to say the person's name this episode, sorry, mainly because they had asked that I don't say their name. So I'm going to get on my soapbox and rant for a minute here. Now, as someone like myself who collects art, original art from others, I think it's fair to say that if you have purchased artwork at a show and you see this artist with works that are the same size and everything of what you have purchased, and you see that these pieces have been reduced greatly in price, not only is it concerning, but it makes me question if the artist is really that organized or what is their motives to have the prices be so differently. Now, I know that there's a lot of theme shows out there in San Jose at Collide Gallery. I think it's the first Tuesday of each month, they'll do an event called $2 Tuesday. But these aren't pieces that are, 16 by 20 or 8 by 10. They are more kind of the art cards or smaller, very small pieces that are fun to collect, and they'll be no more than $2. And sometimes they'll have earrings, or maybe they'll have just something or a snippet of a piece of artwork that the artist has done. But what we're talking about is if you're going to an event or you're going to an exhibit and you see someone's work, and let's say it's 20 by 20 and it's, let's say, $500, and you go to the next event and you see that artist is in an exhibit and you see their work there, and you see a 20 by 20, it may even be the same artwork, but let's go by size and say that all of a sudden this piece is now $275. Well, of course, you think to yourself, well, gosh, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pick this piece up because it's significantly less than what I had purchased my other pieces for. But what my main concern is why is this piece so much, is it priced less? It's not $10 or $20. We're talking about a couple of $100 less than what you may have been accustomed to purchasing work from that person. And if you're an artist and you're doing this, you need to get it together. You need to value your work and make sure that you're consistent across the board. Because as you gain collectors, they will start following you and they will be attending your exhibits because they want to see what's new and exciting. And rule number one, if you start toggling on your pricing so dramatically, that not only are you going to, it's not a disservice to you, but it's insulting to your collector, and you will ultimately lose that customer. There are many facets to get your art priced right. In fact, I have written articles that are listed on my website that talks about how to price your work. There are different ways to do it. You can do it by the hour, you can do it by the square foot, you can do it by the square inch, you can do it based on different ways of pricing it. Now, in defense of the artist, and one artist had asked me, well, what if I have a studio show? Can I discount works to my already established customer base? Now, if you're having a studio show and you're inviting your VIPs and collectors to attend and you're letting them know that it is a studio show, then yes, of course, you can extend the sale as a thank you to them. The typical thing for a studio show, especially if you're having a studio sale, is that you want to make room for new pieces that you're introducing. And so the studio sale will reflect pieces that may have been a little older or things that you have finished that you want to just move on, things that you may have hung on to for a while that you feel really need to go and find a new home and new walls to hang on. So extending an offer at a studio sale is not out of the question. In fact, you should be doing that, and you should be cleaning out some of the pieces that have been around or pieces that you may have hung on to for a while and that you finally are ready to sell. The studio show is to also have a sale, but then you can also have introduced new works that you've been working on, that you've come out with for that season. The point is, everyone, is stay consistent. You don't want to totally tick off any of your collectors or people that are starting to collect, specifically people who have been collecting, who know what they've paid for the artwork that you're selling and that you're creating. You don't want to start jeopardizing the trust factor that you have with them. And I will tell you, I have seen this happen, and I have seen collectors do a 180 and say, I'm out of here. I'm not going to be collecting this person anymore because they can't get it together. They can't figure out where they are valued as an artist, or how can they, why do I feel like I'm being jerked around with this whole pricing thing? Or why do I buy some pieces for this much and other pieces for that? And is it fair to call the artist on it? I would say, gosh, I've been collecting you for a while. I mean, you don't have to be rude about it. Just simply communicate and say, I've been collecting you for a while. I'm confused on how pieces that I've spent, $600-700 on are now going for $300 or $400, and give them the opportunity to explain. Maybe they're not quite sure about how to go about doing the studio sale. This is why I've developed Rockstar Mentor, because I want to be able to help you as an artist understand the do's and the don'ts and the rights and the wrongs and tips and techniques on how to be successful selling your art and be the professional rock star that you are. And of course, once you start getting a price structure for yourself and you get on that even keel of where to be with the pricing, you are going to kill it. You are going to sell more art because you will be the professional artist that your collectors are looking for. I know a lot of people like to take advantage of artists and say, well, the lower the price, the better it is. Or if you sell something to me right now cheaper, I'll come back later. No, 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 no. Sorry. If you're interested in buying multiple pieces, we will talk now. But pricing structures and sales on selling your art I have scheduled for a future podcast. But for this one, I wanted to make sure that I got these questions addressed. And this is a little compilation of several questions that have been asked, not only by collectors, but by artists in the past. And I believe that all of these questions are completely valid and needed to have their own little Fan Mail Friday episode dedicating the questions so I can get them answered for you today. Now, we have a great sponsor. It is the Brush Guys with thebrushguys.com. They have amazing sales on brushes and brushes for everyone, including makeup artists. They have cosmetic brushes. So check out The Brush Guys at thebrushguys.com. Use promo code ROCKSTAR to receive 5% off your order and kick some butt there and rock that. Hey, if you're online and you want to check out more about me, your host, Sonya Paz, with the Rockstar Mentor podcast, visit me at rockstarmentor.com. I have lots of really cool tools and ideas. We have past episodes on the blog. We have all of the episodes listed in the podcast area on the website. And there's so much more value there on the website. So make sure you check us out. And if you would like to subscribe, of course, subscribing is great because then it automatically, if you're on iPhone, I know for sure. If you're on Android, I believe if you go to Stitcher Radio, you can also subscribe. But you can even subscribe from the links on the podcast section of the website. But if you subscribe on iTunes, if you could be so kind, if you find value in these podcasts that are giving to you as an artist, I would love to have you give me a review and say something nice. Give us a 5-star, say something nice, and let me know what it is that I've done that could help you as an artist. So pretty much this is a wrap, everyone. I hope that you are going to have a great Friday today and have a superior weekend. Be creative, have fun, connect with other artists, and connect with me. Send me a note. Let me know how you're doing. That is it for today. Have a wonderful weekend and peace out, everyone.